Hello everyone, welcome to Angel Drawing Studio. Today I got something really special. Not gonna lie, I'm super excited because something just came in the mail. I think I know what this is, but I wanna share the experience with you guys because it's hard for me to articulate things right now because I'm super excited. So let's get to it. So here I'm starting the unboxing. I decided to do a voiceover because all the commenting here was just me saying how excited I was, and there was pretty much no information. But here's the first set, which is the New England watercolor set by Mgram. Each set comes with 5 colors of 15 milliliter tubes of watercolors, and each tube is just packed with paint and pigment that you really don't need much paint to do full paintings on these. Here's the second set, which is the Cityscape watercolor set. And Mgram is one of those companies that's manufactured in the USA, and it's made from blackberry honey. And it has, the color doesn't really harden and crack and falls off like some other tubes. And I think this whole concept of adding honey is being more adapted to certain paints nowadays. And this is the last set, the Desert Southwest watercolor set, and next to it is the other item I got, which is a Princeton Neptune quill brush number 6, which is the size, not to be confused with a 6 round brush. This brush is much bigger. So each of these sets comes around a theme, and I feel like the New England set is the better rounded as far as the color range goes. And I think it just with that said, you can do a lot of paintings. That's Arches watercolor paper is what I'll be using throughout this whole video. So all of these paints are just phenomenal, guys. I mean, just when you go into the artist quality paints, you'll immediately see a difference. They really take a lot of care into making, especially Mgram, into making all of these paints. I've been painting for close to 4 years, and throughout those 4 years, all I've been using is student grade and below, even paper. I've never used Arches prior to this video, or any paper that was 100% cotton. So I'll be talking a little bit about the paper, which I've had that paper for close to 3 years. So, and mainly was I didn't want to use that paper with student grade or cheaper quality materials, because for me that paper was, you know, almost sacred. And I think personally, holding out and learning on student grade and less quality art materials really allow me to appreciate how almost easy it is to paint on this paper. This paper just allows you to do just about anything you want when it comes to watercolors. So Arches watercolor paper, they've been around forever, and they're 100% cotton. This one in particular is a cold pressed pad of 140 pound, and I've had this paper for so long. It was still when it was distributed by Canson. For those of you that kind of know that story, I think nowadays they just kind of self-distribute. But this paper is the good stuff. I feel like I'm part of the big leagues now, even though I still need some work. But I really enjoyed working with this paper. It's just fantastic, and the combination with the paper and the paints and the brush, it's just a complete joy with no hassle. The paper works with you, the paints work with you. It's just, everything is very predictable. And that is one thing that, you know, most people get at the beginning kind of turned off by watercolors because of his unpredictability, which is not true. It just behaves differently. So here I'm doing some swatches. This one is Naphthol Red. That's Cadmium Yellow, Ultramarine Blue, Burnt Umber, and last one is going to be Hooker's Green. And that is it for the New England set. But you can sorry. But you can see how all of these colors are very versatile. I mean, if you knew a little bit of color theory, you can do a lot with just this set. And here trying the Cityscape watercolor, and that one's Pyrrole Red, which is kind of a deeper red. And this one is Hansa Yellow Deep, which is kind of a warmer yellow. And this one's Sepia, which is kind of a warmer gray. And this one's Burnt Sienna. And that one is Payne's Gray. That is it for the Cityscape. Now we're going to be moving into the Desert Southwest watercolor set. And this first color is going to be Quinacridone Rust, which in its lighter form makes a really good base tone for skin colors. I think it is really nice. This one is Yellow Ochre. It's kind of a more opaque type of yellow. Indian Yellow. I have so many yellows now. And Mineral Violet and Turquoise. And you can see how excited I am. I mean, this whole experience, I just went back to elementary school. I was so excited, guys. So that is it for those 3 sets. And I have to say, from these swatches, I learned a lot from the paper and how to manage it. And these paints, I mean, they're still in my palette, and they still haven't, they stayed a little tacky, and they re-wet very, very easy. So here's a little closer look on each of the paints, and I feel like these colors are more accurate in the camera. So this is Hansa Yellow Deep, and a little pigment information. Most of these colors are single pigments, which I find as a plus, because when you're creating mixes, single pigment colors would allow you to do cleaner mixes. And just the fact that all professional paints include the pigment colors, it allows you to kind of plan and expect a certain color out of each. So it just makes it more predictable and allows you for more control when it comes to painting and mixing. And it's something that I feel like it's one of those things that are not highlighted enough when it comes to paint reviews, which eventually I will do a full review on these paints when I'm more used to them and I've used them for a while. But there's the Cadmium Yellow, and there's a lot of people that say a lot of bad things about Cadmium Yellow, but I really liked it. And there's Ultramarine Blue, and there's a wavy shot with my shoddy camera work, but I did my best, guys. That's all I can do. So here I'm doing a little painting. This is all from memory, and I'm trying to basically explore the paper since I've never used it, and what better opportunity to use it with this brand new paints. So I ended up kind of overworking this one a little bit, but it was just me testing the paper. But one of the things you can get out of this little demo is just how well these paints just mix together. And I think that has a lot to do with the paper itself. I'm doing this entire painting with the number 6 quill brush, and you can see how versatile that quill is actually. You can do really big washes, and since it comes to a point, you can actually add in very minute details too. This is one of my favorite brushes too. Prism Neptune is, I feel like they're a really, really nice brush. I highly recommend those brushes. So there it is. I kind of had an issue with the borders, but like I said, this is just pretty much a steady. And that's the finished piece. And through this whole process, I thoroughly enjoyed this entire process and just making this video in general. I mean, I feel like I'm moving up to the big leagues guy now. So here's another shot. These paints are just packed with color. They're not like your average potato chips that you see a full bag and when you open it it's just full of air. These paints are packed with paints, and that's what I really enjoy. So thank you guys for watching. I always love it when you guys leave comments and inputs. Let me know what you all think on this video and art materials. I'll be doing a lot more of these. So if you like this video, it will really help me a lot if you like and subscribe and leave a comment. And I'll see you next time.